What's up, everybody? I'm glad to see you guys for a new week. All Bridge campers, what's up? Good morning. How you doing, Miss Tish? I want to talk to you guys today about David. Now, we're talking about bullies in the Bible in this series. There's many bullies in the Bible, but we're going to pull out just a couple and highlight some topics and some wins in these stories. Now, the one we're going to talk about today, which is a very, very famous and well-known story, and that's David and Goliath. And we all know the story of David and Goliath, how David went up against Goliath with his 5 smooth stones and a slingshot and defeated this 9-foot giant that was coming after them, that was defying the armies of the Lord. And David wasn't scared, because he knew that God was with him. And he said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine who dare defy the army of the Lord? And this is very important, because if God is on your side, there's a different way of seeing giants in your life. There's a different way of seeing bullies in your life. David saw Goliath as a bully, but he saw Goliath as a bully as he's with God. Now, if David has God on his side and he's going towards this giant, his fear is not based on himself. His fear is based on knowing that God will come and rescue him, so he doesn't worry so long. Now, sure, he may have some nervousness like we all do, but David said something to King Saul. He said, I killed lions and bears that tried to take my father's sheep, and the Lord was with me then. Surely the Lord is with me now. So this is what we talking about today, Bridge campers, for bullies in the Bible. Goliath was a bully, but the thing we want you to remember today, please remember that God is with you. Say that with me. God is with me. God is with me. God is with you. So this means when a bully or anything that's like a giant that's big in your life that you have to face, remember that God is with you. And one thing I want to encourage you today, Bridge campers, is that you can always talk to God. Always talk to God. I want to highlight that you must talk to your parents about any situations that deals with bullying, but also talk to God. Dear Lord, help me with this giant that I have to face. Dear Lord, I pray for this bully. I pray for this person who's picking on me. Dear Lord, give me the strength, even though I have fear. Give me the strength in this fear to stand up for myself, to speak to this bully, not in a mean way, Lord, but to let him know that this is not right and this is hurting me. What David had the power of, that King Saul and all of his army who were scared of this big giant, what David had was the power of God. David had fear just like everybody else, but David had the power of God. I'm sure David had fear when he was fighting a lion. Can you imagine fighting a lion? Can you imagine fighting a bear? Like one swipe and it can rip you apart. But even in that fear, David knew that God was with him. And that's what this is about today. This is about knowing that God is with you guys. No matter what you're going through, if someone's picking on you, if someone's calling you names, if someone's taking your money, someone's joking your shoes or your clothes, know that God is with you. And God love will protect you. Continue to communicate with God. Continue to ask God to help you in the situation. But please continue to go to your parents and share what is going on, so that God and your parents can get together and solve this issue. I want to encourage you guys today that David defeated this giant. He defeated this giant. And one little small piece that I want you guys to check out is in 1 Samuel chapter 17, and it starts in verse 2, and the story ends at, I believe, 55. But I want to encourage you guys to go back into this story, because there's something very powerful in this story. When the army brought David to King Saul, and Saul finally was convinced to allow David to fight this huge giant that they're all scared of, King Saul gave David his armor. gave him his armor, gave him his sword, gave him his shield. And David never put this stuff on before. David's a little boy. This stuff weighs a ton. And David tried it on, where the Bible says he essayed it to go, which means he tried to go. But he never approved this armor before. He never tried this armor on before and fought in it. So it was heavy on him. It's like him fighting with a book bag full of bricks. But David took it off and said, I can't fight in this. I can't use this sword. I can't use this shield. But what I can use is 5 smooth stones and my slingshot that I use every day that I'm good at. What am I saying? Mr. Roshan is trying to encourage you guys today to practice talking with the Lord. Practice giving him conversation. Practice in prayer. It's nothing hard, and God will accept and approve just having a conversation with him. And as you practice this, when someone comes along and try to put something else on you or tell you this is how you fight the bully, this is what I would do, just like King Saul tried to put the armor on David, you got to say, I can't put that on. I can't wear that. I can't say that. I can't do that. But what I can do is I can pray for this bully. I can pray for this person. I can pray for myself. I pray for the situation, and I communicate it with my parents. Now I can get behind that because I'm familiar with it, because I've been practicing prayer. So I just want to encourage you guys today to know that we all have giants. Adults have giants. Adults have bullies sometimes. But the communication of dealing with that bully is very, 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 very powerful when you're talking about it with the Lord. When you're talking about it with God, someone who loves you, someone who will take care of you, someone who will protect you, someone who will actually help the bully, help the one that is hurting. Because a lot of times bullies hurt people because they're hurting. And this is where our grace, our mercy, and our nice, kind ways come in handy. Lord, help him or help her. They're trying to hurt me because they're sad about something in their lives. And I just pray that you take that sadness away. And I pray that you give them a happy spirit. And I pray that I can maybe be friends with them. And if I can't, Lord, that's okay. At least I tried. But please just give them peace so that they don't bully not just me, but no one else. And this is how you fight. This is how you protect. This is how you stand up for yourself. Just like David. David was a young boy standing up to a big giant. And even though this giant was big, he wasn't bigger than God. And David knew that. So I want to thank you all, Bridge Campers, for tuning in again to Bullies in the Bible. Today we talked about, in this episode, David and Goliath. And I want to encourage you guys to pray unto the Lord. Ask him for help. Pray that he blesses the one that's bullying. Pray that he blesses you in your fear. And remember, always communicate this with your parents, with a trusted adult, because God is good and he provided your parents in the situation to help you as well. Peace out.